In the end, how much worse could it get?
I have directed Secretary Connally to suspend temporarily the convertibility of the dollar into gold or other reserve assets.
I was blind, but now I see.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of 24 Hours Crypto. Let's get right into today's video. Brad Garlinghouse just came out and dropped bombshells. I can only imagine what kind of closed-door meetings are taking place that the public is not aware of. But there are 3 banks that would have never approached Ripple 3 years ago now coming and looking to work with them. Isn't that incredible?
Meetings yesterday in New York City where banks that would not have talked to us 3 years ago are now leaning in and saying, how can we partner around this?
Around stablecoin.
Around stablecoins, for sure. And again, the delta there is the Genius Act has codified into law. We haven't seen that happen. I mean, again, Ripple has had we fought the fight.
And then Brad Garlinghouse also talks about how there's a tsunami coming that the U.S. isn't even going to be able to stop.
Whether you're building payment solutions, custody solutions, land title registry solutions, tokenizing commercial real estate, like this tsunami is still coming, and I don't think there's anything that the U.S. federal government is going to do to stop that.
And then I love how he talks about the difference of Ripple and XRP, and how he also mentions that, you know, we have to educate people. And I've been telling you guys this for a very long time, that people are not educated enough. And once you educate yourself in this ecosystem, and once you understand the value driver of XRP, it is insane. You never look back, and it is a race against time to accumulate as much as you can, because this digital asset XRP is the next Bitcoin.
I agree. The whole lawsuit for Ripple was about what is Ripple, which is a privately funded company that raised venture capital and issued stock associated with that. Those are securities. What is XRP, which is a technology, an open source technology that is kind of native to our products. We use XRP in our product stack, but there are scores of other companies building in and around the XRP ecosystem. People will say things like, well, XRP has a CEO, and I'm like, who is it? Ripple has a CEO, that's me. There's scores, if not 100 other CEOs building around the XRP ecosystem. And I think that's when I hear people say that, I think, okay, they're not educated about what's going on. And so we need to educate people. Obviously, you see that in a number of other tokens where there's a very distributed, very open source community.
And now take a listen to what Christina says here. It is just remarkable, because this is exactly what we have been saying for a very long time, and they're telling you as well. And then the video is going to follow by a clip by Jamie Dimon, him saying the same thing. And then he talks about the token having actual utility, actually being useful. And they know it, folks. They know it. They're going to lie to you, just like they lied to you about CV19. And just like they lied to you about all the other stuff that they put in the news, they're going to lie to you. They're not going to come out here and bullpost XRP while they're creating a new financial infrastructure behind the scenes, and this asset is going to be utilized and leveraged to make it better. Okay, it is something that you cannot turn away from. And these videos, people are going to come back years from now and listen to this and say, how did I miss this? Because the individuals that missed XRP at 20 cents, 30 cents, they go back into those videos when we were dissecting it by factual research. And how did I miss the accumulation? It's going to get crazy, folks, but take a listen.
Today, digital, let's call it crypto for simplicity, is to a high degree used for investment purpose. Like Bitcoin is an investment opportunity first and foremost. There is a little bit of use for payment, but that's not the main purpose. There is a little bit of use for payment, but that's not the main purpose. There is a little bit of use for payment, but that's not the main purpose. Are we going to move to a world in which stablecoins would be a big part of the payment, cross-border payments, And if we go in this world, what does it mean for the international monetary system? What does it mean for our members?
If you mean crypto like Bitcoin, I've always said it's a fraud.
No hope for it.
Well, if they think they're a currency, there's no hope for it. It's a Ponzi scheme. It's a public, decentralized Ponzi. If it's a crypto coin that can do something, like, a smart contract, that has value. There will be smart contracts, and blockchain works. So to the extent crypto is accessing certain blockchain things, yeah, that might have some value.
And then you have these delusional industry experts like Michael Saylor. You got to understand, Michael Saylor already got dinged for a multi-billion-dollar Ponzi back in the years. And then now he's here backing Bitcoin. But the lack of education and knowledge is disgusting. If you just listen to what he says here and how he is wrong on everything that he has said, it's crazy. It is actually crazy. But take a listen to what he says here.
Ripple, Cardano, everything down the stack is just a crypto asset security unregistered. Ripple, crypto asset security unregistered.
In 3 years in the making here, Ripple didn't violate securities. XRP isn't a security. What power does the SEC have over the crypto industry? Now,
none of them will ever be wrapped by a spot ETF. None of them will be accepted by Wall Street. None of them will be accepted by mainstream institutional investors as crypto assets. This is the one universal consensus accepted institutional grade crypto asset in the world.
For you, it's XRP and Ripple the same thing? They are both unregistered securities. XRP and XRP is just the equity token of Ripple. Yeah.
And then now I'm going to play a video that was published by the Finternet group. Okay, I call it the Finternet group, where we have Augustine Cartine, you have Nidan Nilkani, and they're talking about how in 2026 they're going to go live.
So 2023 was when we started the journey. This is a early picture of the people, myself, Pramod, Siddharth, and Augustine, who at that time was the chairman of BIS, when the idea was launched. In 2024, we came here and we spoke about the playground, and we had a limited set of partners. You can see the names down there, JustPay and Solana and so forth. Today in 2025, this has grown dramatically. And we think in 2026, we will be live.
And I'm not going to get too into detail with this, but I'm going to kind of go over the basics, because they're talking about the Finternet. It was, they were put together back in 2023. These are the documents that they even show on this panel. These are the documents that we were going over while they released it. But if you just listen to some of the key parts here, in this PDF, it is truly remarkable, because they don't know how this is going to end up. And Ripple is helping them in here designing this. That's a fact. That is not speculation. That is a fact. You could think it's speculation, but that is a fact. Okay? They say that at the same time, we acknowledge the considerable uncertainty about precisely which innovative technologies will be best served as a bias for the future financial system and their best use. Turning the vision of the Finternet into reality requires experimentation. Only that can we have full measure of the challenges and the best strategies to overcome them. Many central banks are engaged in this necessary process of trial and error. The lessons from these projects are invaluable public good towards realizing the shared vision of more efficient, transparent, and exclusive financial future. This is incredible. And they also said that we also provided a blueprint to guide policymakers seeking to translate this vision into reality. We identify 3 necessary components: an efficient economic and financial architecture, Ripple. Huge, Ripple has a huge role in that part. That sentence right there, Ripple is a key driver. The application of cutting-edge digital technology and a robust legal and governance framework. Ripple has all that in-house. And then people want to sit there and pretend like nothing's happening. But folks, you heard the head of the IMF talk about Bitcoin. And the way she said it is just remarkable, right?
There is a little bit of use for payment.
Right, there is. Cool. You heard Brad Garlinghouse, Tsunami. You heard Michael Saylor. It is sad. Imagine going on a panel and saying that Ethereum and Ripple and all these digital assets are going to be securities 100%, is what he said. And he said that there will never be ETFs with this. And then people still listen to this fool? Do you understand this? It is truly remarkable. We are living through another delusional phase in human era. And that is individuals not being able to understand the difference between these digital assets. And again, this ecosystem is lacking education. But the value driver XRP, I'm not going to talk about in today's episode. You guys are all versed on it. If you're new to this channel, you don't know the value driver XRP, go watch my previous videos where I say how XRP has to go to $32 or how it has to go to $100 or why I say $100 XRP is dirt cheap. Okay, just remember, and again, this shouldn't irritate you guys. This shouldn't irritate the individuals that understand XRP. But the only individuals that say XRP can't go to $30 or $100 are the morons. Like, honestly, you guys have to understand that I have done so much research, so much due diligence on behalf of my work, and I sit there over every year and I analyze, am I misleading people for the future valuation of XRP? Does this make sense? Is this logical? And the answer is yes. These price targets are logical. And even when we compare it to the fundamental valuation framework, where they did back in 2018 and they applied the minimal statistics to it, and I'm working on the 2025 version right now, they are way, way lowballed XRP. Right? Way, 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 way low-balled XRP. So a $32 XRP is pocket change. It'll be pocket change. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I do appreciate every single one of you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. But man, trust me, I'm excited as much as you guys are, but please have patience. Have patience. And don't tell, and yes, the individuals that haven't accumulated, it doesn't matter. We are pioneers. People wish to be in your position. Okay, please understand that. Okay, people wish they have accumulated like you guys have, and they're not going to be able to. Mass accumulation for XRP is done. Try accumulating 20,000 XRP right now. How long is that going to take you? Just run the math. Leave a comment. Just say, if you were to give me numbers, right? Tell me your cash flow and pretend like you don't have XRP, but what is your cash flow right now on a monthly basis going forward? Let's say you're getting it now, and give me how much realistically you can accumulate in the next coming days, and not next coming days, but the next coming months. But you have to understand, XRP has to sit around $2.43 just for you so you could accumulate. Okay, so maybe XRP will sit at $2.44 so you have time to accumulate of your cash flow for the next 12 months, right?
I'm just gonna just finish it off at this. I'm very excited for this journey. I'm excited that I was able to do this, kind of show you guys who's bringing you this information. Now going forward, you'll kind of have a rough idea of, who you're listening to and what kind of hand gestures I do. I do the same thing when I'm on the computer and I'm, as I'm recording right now. And
so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I do appreciate every single one of you guys, and we will be back with another episode.
But I think the idea of buying and holding forever and not trying to make adjustments requires that you've gotten it right in the first place. That you can only hold tight if you've bought right, if you will. And that is to say, have an asset allocation that has something to do with how many years you have to accumulate money, how much resources you have at stake, how much income you need, and how much courage you have to ride out the peregrinations of the market.
Accept reality. Fiat money is moving digital. Good luck with it.
Well, I woke up this morning, check my bags on the chain. XRPL still humming while the FUD folks complain. Ripple fighting Goliath, yeah, the SSA's game. But Johnny D and Hogan, they're bringing the flame. So we salute to the rebels in suits.
Good luck with it.
To the coders and hodlers wearing dusty old boots. Raise a toast to the ledger and the lawyers who bite, while taco stand dumps through the middle of the night.
Accept reality. Fiat money is moving
Brad
digital.
G's on the mic saying clarity now, while Shorts codes the stars with the hologram cow watch. The haters keep chirping, but the people ain't blind. This ain't some mean dream, it's the internet spine. Regulators stalling, but the clock's ticking fast. Ripple drops the case like a baseline blast. Communities united, from Twitter to the street. We meme through the madness and never admit defeat. Yeah, we salute to the devs and the geeks, to the ledger that clears in seconds, not weeks. To D, to Hogan, to legal delight, and the salty old taco that just loves to spite. Hey Jed, you done yet? Or you got another dump scheduled for lunch? So here's to the warriors, the freaks, and the fans, waving salute tokens like battle flags in hand. It ain't just about coins, it's a movement, a pact. We defend what we build, and we're taking it back. Come on, salute to the ones in the fight, to the token that laughs in regulatory spite, to Schwartz, Brad, and the ones still believing, even while taco stands always leaving. One for XRP, and raise your guitar for decentralized dreams. This song's for the ledger, the truth and the proof. With a smile and a nod, we say salute.
We started building RippleNet with the thesis that crypto liquidity would eventually be able to support robust global payments, large payments. RippleNet was designed so that customers seeing the benefits of our fiat-based network could flip the switch to ODL once the market was mature enough. And this is exactly what's happening. Flip the switch. I think what we're building has, it's solving a real problem. And I think all of the tokens, my advice to anybody would be, understand the utility. If there's real utility and there's real value being delivered to a real customer, there will be value in the token.
And they're trying to get as much money as they can out of people because it doesn't matter to them. It doesn't matter to them. They're getting rich. And this is why they're facing legal trouble. This is why we have the SEC battle. So in the speculative market, when Dogecoin's becoming one of the top coins ever, of course, fake press releases by Ripple talking about all this bank stuff is going to get people to FOMO in. Which one are you going to choose logically?